I just want to say before this starts, I was gonna have a gameplay in the background of this, but the commentary is actually quite long, and it would have taken like 9 hours just to render the whole thing. So I doubt my voice alone is entertaining enough for you to want to listen to the whole thing. But if you're actually like interested in OpTic and that, then feel free to. Hello to anyone watching this. My name is Charlie, or CJ as my gamer tag would suggest. Recently I've been to commentaries on OpTic Nation with Hex and a guy called Matt, who did a commentary sharing his views on OpTic and the whole situation surrounding OpTic at the moment. And firstly, I just want to say I think it's like quite cool what Hex did, in that although the guy only has about 100 subscribers, like would be usually overlooked by or wouldn't be noticed by other people, he actually took the time out to like talk about and address the like points that the guy brought up in that he brought up in his original commentary. In the commentary, the original one, he talks about how OpTic are being like surpassed by other clans like FaZe, Obey, but personally I think this is only really in terms of numbers and like views and subscribers, which are just numbers on the screen really in real terms. And FaZe and Obey pretty much in my eyes are the same team, and obviously they've got different players and different name whatever, but they do the same thing, and they put out trick shotting and sniping videos, but they're pretty much what you'd say the head of what most people call the trick shotting community. Whereas I'd like to think that OpTic have and always will be, despite the number of views or subscribers they have, the founders and head of the sniping community, which I'd sort of say was different. Although trick shotting does involve using the sniper, obviously I don't really classify it as sniping, which is why many trick shotters have come up with the horrible phrase of term of feeding to distinguish the two communities, and it's quite one of those weird words that people seem to want to use now. Quite unfortunately, because of the small-mindedness of many people that have become like a part of the Call of Duty scene, clans are often judged based on the standard of clips that they hit, and like they're often compared to one another in a competition that's not like created by the clans themselves but by the viewers, and they sort of pick sides and fucking try and kill each other in the comment section of videos and stuff. And it's like a constant debate as to whether a team's better than one another or who's got the better players, and it's just an endless thing. But whichever way you look at it, in my eyes, in terms of achievement and history, OpTic are by far like the best team on YouTube, and probably always will be, such as the like unprecedented success it's had with YouTube and competitive, and like as a franchise in general, despite maybe not having like or getting the same amount of views that they got before, or having less subscribers than other clans and whatnot. But in the original commentary, Matt makes like a point about how OpTic are like a shadow of their former self, and that obviously now they don't get as many views, and some people don't consider them to be as good as they were, which is completely on the whole YouTube side of things, because obviously OpTic have pretty much like dominated the whole competitive thing in the last year or so. And Hex addresses this where like OpTic have excelled in the competitive scene to become like the best. Nation's been somewhat neglected, and I personally noticed a change in OpTic when Hex, as he said, took a year out of making videos to attend to like the commitments of the MLG team and stuff. And this is by word of mouth, I don't know this for sure, but Paul very much became like the head managerial person for YouTube, the YouTube side of OpTic, in that he would be the one recruiting the players and whatnot. And the change that I personally noticed was the sense that OpTic became like very detached from its like fan base when Paul took over, and that obviously he did a very good job of keeping the standard up, like, because people, like the viewers, have got ever changing like opinions of what they want to see, and like who you've got to keep up. Although like you may not want to put yourself in a little war with another clan, you've got to keep the viewers happy, you've got to like reach a certain standard if you're that high up in the community, as it were. And like all of a sudden the background became like almost a game store like website page, to me anyway. And like the roster was gaining in size every day with people that I hadn't really noticed joining. And coming from someone that was a big OpTic fan, it was a pretty like big thing for people to join OpTic. It became a bit like less significant. And a good team to look at for that, I would say, would be Violent Reality, in that they've got like a strong sense of no one's bigger than the clan itself, and that there's a lot of respect for the name and whatnot. And when someone does join, it really seems like it's an achievement for the player, and that they're committed to the team for a long time after they join, and they don't just leave like within a week. And for a period with OpTic, a lot of players were joining and leaving, which showed like a lack of respect for the name. And personally, I saw it as quite like ungrateful in a way, in that many people, such as myself, being such a big fan of OpTic, would give like their right arm to have the opportunity that some people have, and to see them like disregard it like that was quite like unpleasant to see. But what Matt like refers to as the shadow that OpTic like used to be, I think it's something that OpTic almost didn't realise that they had, and this is solely my opinion. But when I first like started watching videos on Nation, the roster consisted of like a main bulk of people such as Hex, Tumas, Jay, Diesel, Fwiz, Hutch, Grizz was like, and then there were the big montage makers like Predator, and Grizz was like affiliated with OpTic for a lot, and I think he still is at the moment. But now, where today people are itching to see whether people can hit like insane clips and make montages like every fucking 2 days and whatever, back then it was more for the enjoyment of like the videos. And to this day I still like absolutely shit myself if I see a video like Oh Really, the series. Like if I see a video like that uploaded, I'll straight away watch it, because I know I'm gonna enjoy it. But I'm not saying like if OpTic bring back Oh Really, it's gonna say it like bring back all their subs and bring back all their views and whatever, but just the natural charisma of the people that were involved with OpTic when they started was just, it made the videos so much more like enjoyable to watch, because you knew who the people were, and not just like you didn't just see their gamer tag in a montage and whatever. And like even if I think what would help OpTic is not like bring all those people back and make them like commit themselves to OpTic, because obviously they've moved on with Fwiz, Jay and whatever doing machinima duty, as it were. But if they just did like a quick commentary or something, like just to address like Nation where they sort of almost started off, and like I'd want to watch that. If I saw someone like OpTic J like make a video and put it on Nation, I'd straight away want to watch that. And like even though we know these people aren't like fucking montage makers that can hit like on screen 6s, on screen like 7s, whatever, they're just like their names make people want to watch them. Like for example, if Hex did like a like dual commentary with someone like Hutch or Jay or whatever, just like to catch up with them and address the like OpTic fans who used to watch them on Nation, but now obviously they've moved on to different things and taken people like away from Nation and on to like Machinima and whatever. So if say he did a commentary with like Hutch and discussing his like OpTic memories when he used to be an OpTic, which was a fucking long time ago now, but like it would just be nice to see something like that, which brings back the old connection that OpTic had with its like fan base, and while still having the players like Rated, Wallbang, Lowy, Outcast, Marky, the rest like making montages like they do now, because they're all sick like players and stuff. But if you had a mix of those two sort of things, I think that would make OpTic what it used to be, and like bring it back to its former glory, to put a gay phrase over it. Anyway, those are just my like thoughts about OpTic things. I've been like a massive fan of OpTic since I started, like I said, and I don't know whether I'm just talking out my arsehole here, but if anyone else shares my opinion, then it'll be cool if you could say what you think, and whoever watches this video obviously say what you think in comments or whatever. But whatever it is like Hex decides to do for Nation, I'll always have respect for what they've like done and achieved, and I'll always be a massive OpTic fan whether or not they've got 200,000 views or 1,000 views. And I think Hex is like, he's like a good example of how to lead a clan for other people that want to start up clans, and like how to conduct yourself on YouTube. And I think that he's been a leading figure in the community that we're a part of for a long time. He's led the Call of Duty like community to be a success, although many people crow about it being fucking ruined and whatever. It's not. COD's what you make it. But yeah, that's pretty much been they've been my views. So now I'm gonna go get a gameplay that's long enough to fucking go over this thing. So I shall see you later.